Hello bookworms! Today I'm here with my March TBR video. I have to say, I really enjoy making TBR videos, but I'm the worst ever at sticking to them. Yay, mood reading. I tend to just pick up whatever I feel like reading, and I usually I make a TBR with every intention of reading all of the books on it, but it's very rare that I ever do. Sometimes I will read all of them. Other months I will read none of them. So hopefully this will be a month where I read the ones that I'm gonna be talking about here. So here we go. So the first book on my TBR is The Rules for Disappearing by Ashley Elston. As you probably know, I was obsessed with Ashley Elston's other book, This Is Our Story, but I've heard from numerous people that her first duology is even better than that book, and since I can't imagine that, I am going to read it because that just gets me so excited. But so this is the first book in a duology, and it follows a girl who's in the witness protection program. She's been to like 6 different places trying to hide her identity because of something that her father did, but she doesn't actually know what it was. And then she meets this boy, and I think that she kind of, her and him try to delve into her history and try to figure out exactly what her father did that is causing them to be on the run. So it sounds really interesting. Thrillers are usually very intriguing, and I'm definitely excited to pick this up, and I feel like I'll read it really quick because I'm just going to be so intrigued by the story. The next book on my list is Mortal Heart by Robin Lefevers, and this is the third and final book in the His Fair Assassin trilogy. I read books 1 and 2 in 2016, and I really loved them. So I've been meaning to finish up this series. I really wanted to finish it by the end of 2016, but I just didn't get to because there are just so many books that I want to read, but I really want to get to it now, and I feel like my interest in it has been renewed because a couple of weeks ago we did the Love-a-thon, and one of my lovely co-hosts, Mel at the Daily Prophecy, talked about how this book was actually her one of her favorite books, not only in the series but just in general of all books. So that really got me more excited to read it, and I was like, oh yeah, I totally did love those first 2 books. Why haven't I read that last one yet? So now I'm planning on getting to it. This series is a companion series, so this book follows Aneth, who is the assassin of death that stayed at the convent and was never sent out on her own, for any kind of mission. So I'm really, really looking forward to this, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how all of the political things play out in Brittany. It's a historical fiction novel, and it's really, really fascinating. When I read that first book and read the author's note afterward and found out all of the actual events that happened that seemed like fiction that really happened, I was blown away. So I'm really looking forward to finishing this one out. Then I am so excited about this. I am going to be buddy reading When Dimple Met Rishi along with Heather from Bookables. This is one of my most anticipated contemporary novels of 2017. I talked about it in that video and a couple of times since because I'm honestly just so excited for it. So it follows a girl named Dimple who convinces her parents to let her go to this summer program for web developers, and her parents and the guy who's Rishi, his set of parents, have set up this kind of arranged marriage for the two of them, and Dimple wants to escape that. She's so excited about going to this program and getting away from her parents who keep trying to get her to find the perfect Indian husband, but since the two of them both had this interest in this program, the parents thought that it was a great opportunity for them to meet and to, I guess, get them romantically involved. So Dimple's not into the idea of arranged marriage at all. And then there's Rishi, who is completely into it. He really believes in the tradition behind it, and he is so excited to go to this camp and to meet Dimple and to try to win her over and just be completely romantic and get her to fall in love with him and start their future together. So it just sounds really, really interesting, and to see 2 different perspectives on an arranged marriage, which is obviously something that I'm not familiar with in my culture, but I think it's gonna be fascinating, and I've been looking forward to this one so much, and I love that it's taking place at a program for web developers. I think that's really going to add to the story, and I'm just so excited for this one. I can't even describe, like words cannot describe. I'm so thankful that I have the opportunity to read this one early. So I can't wait to tell you guys what I think of this. Then I want to read Wires and Nerves by Marissa Meyer. This is the graphic novel, the first graphic novel that came out, and it's based on Aiko's adventures. Aiko is one of the characters in the Lunar Chronicles, and I'm just so excited to see the whole gang like back together, because I know like obviously the story focuses on Aiko, but there are cameos from everyone else in the series. So I think it's gonna be really fun to see that, and I'm also really excited just to see illustrated versions of all of the characters, because I obviously have my own thoughts of what they look like in my head, but I'm sure they're going to be completely changed after seeing the way that the artist like officially interpreted them. And I've done like a little flip through of it already, and I really love the artwork. I love that everything is done in blues. I think it's really interesting when an artist is able to do an entire story in one like monochrome color. So I'm really looking forward to it for like multiple reasons. Then finally, I want to read Sleeping Giants by Sylvian Neuvel. This is an adult sci-fi novel, and it's the first book in a series. The second one's coming out in, let's say, April. So I wanted to read this before it comes out, but I had such great luck with Dark Matter by Blake Crouch that I wanted to continue with the like adult sci-fi kick. I don't know, whatever. So this book sounds really, really interesting. It follows a girl and there's like a giant metal hand. That's a really bad synopsis. So it follows a girl named Rose who falls through to the center of the earth, and when she gets rescued, people realize that she is like sitting in this giant metal hand. And then years and years go by and no one ever solves the mystery of this hand, but Rose becomes a physicist who tries to like do research and uncover whatever's going on with this thing. And everyone's being interviewed by this unknown source, and it just sounds out there, and I'm excited. It sounds like it's going to be really good. I've heard good things about it so far, so I'm really looking forward to finding out what's going on, because the premise doesn't really like give you that much to go on. So it should be interesting. And then again, like I've showed this a couple times, but when you take the dust jacket off, this book is still quite gorgeous. So I'm excited to carry this around with me and have it still be pretty without having the dust jacket on it. So we haven't filmed our Spines with Wines book club yet for February, and our book of the month was Caraval. Since we haven't done that, we also haven't talked about what we want our March book to read. So there will be another book that I'm definitely reading as part of my TBR, but I just don't know what that is yet. I'm going to be pushing for Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller, because pirates and lady pirates. So that's probably one of the books that I'm most excited for that's a new release. Even if that doesn't end up being our Spines with Wines pick of the month, I do really want to read that one because it just sounds like it's going to be really good. So that's like a little extra one that I'm just throwing in at the end here. But let me know what books you are really looking forward to reading in March. I might have kept saying February because I'm very confused by months and time apparently. But yeah, so those are all the books that I'm hoping to read in March. Let me know what you're looking forward to reading. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I have on my TBR, and we can talk about them in the comments below. And I'll see you guys soon with a new video. Bye!